Hello and welcome to Crafty Learns Spanish. And today, please sir, can I have some more? Can I have some more? Yes, we're going to look at the word can. And it's a bit strange. And we're going to look at the word have. We're going to see if we can translate this. So we're going to learn a bit of vocabulary. And a word or two. Because well, there's a couple of words in there we don't know. Please. Well, please is easy. Please. What is please? Por favor. Por favor. For favor. For a favor. Please. And señor. Of course. Por favor, señor. Please, sir. Now, I don't know if you remember, but we looked at poder, which we roughly translated as to be able to. Okay. In English, can is a special type of verb. It's a modal verb, and it doesn't have what we call the infinitive form. You cannot say to can. It's just not possible. So it's a very special type of verb. But in English, in other languages, sometimes you won't see it, but they do have the equivalent. Or what they use, because English is quite a special language, because it's a mix of so many different other languages, basically. So, for example, I think French does it like this, Italian, a lot of the European languages, they don't have this can. Can only be expressed by using this, and maybe, like we say, to be capable of. And in Spanish, to be is ser, in this sense, capaz, capable of. So that's to be able to, or can. If I say soy capaz de hablar español, what am I saying? I am capable, or I can speak Spanish. So that, but don't worry about that. That's not an important thing. That isn't the important thing. But we have to remember this poder is a special type of verb. Let's look at our grammar. It's one of these verbs, the water verbs. Okay? Alright, so we're going to change this, the root. Okay? So it's a water verb. So you could please sir, can I have some more water? Let's change that a bit so you can remember it. This is a good mnemonic, this. Please sir, can I have some more water? So poder, if we want to say puedo, poder, it's puedo, right? Puedo. So what we've done is on the end, if it wasn't, we didn't go puedo because you can't do that. It's a change. It changes. It's the puedo, and this signifies that we're using the I form. If you remember on our grammar and regular verbs, this yo, we have o. Okay, that's the important thing to remember. The yo is o. Yo o. So yo, so puedo, can I? Now remember, this is a question, so it's going to be intonation, right? Now, this is how you remember puedo. So this is your phrase to remember, right? So it's one of these water verbs, puedo. Okay, now to have in Spanish is tener, right? This is a special verb as well, and I'm going to point that out, because I want to do a couple of things with it. Is to have. Okay, now when we look at our irregular verbs, it's an irregular. A lot of the common verbs are irregular verbs. You have to remember it. It's one of these verbs. So it's, for me, it's my Austin Powers, yeah baby. Alright. So, but it also has a special form. I have is tengo. Okay, so I think I mentioned this in previous videos that I use my mnemonic or memory trick is to think of Inspector Gadget. Alright, so you've got Inspector Gadget and Austin Powers. Let's say that they both have 10 pounds, $10, 10 whatever is your currency. I don't care. So in the tener, because it's we know because Austin Powers is going to change, but only in the rest, but not in this one, because this is special. Because go gadget, you don't have to change. So you just got to remember that. So in the go gadget verbs, you don't have to change this part. You don't have to change this part or this part. And that only happens with these go gadget verbs. Where are we? Let's get back. Okay, so but here we're back to our thing. Puedo. Now can I have, now in English, because this can doesn't have to, right, you don't put can I to have some water. Okay, for example, if we're using another verb, we use our do you, for example, need to, we have to add quite a few words. Do you need to have some water? You know, so we have to you add different things. But can is the special case. Can I? Now we just reverse the order. We put the I after. Okay, and you can do that in Spanish. Puedo yo tener? If you want to, but because you say puedo, you don't really need to put yo. Now this is the infinitive form, right? It's this to have. But because we've got this can, we can say that. But in Spanish, you have to put the infinitive, right? Now, let's take this out because I don't want to complicate things. So please say, can I have more water? Okay. Now more is más. Okay, más, and you've got to put that little accent. And water is aqua with a G. Agua. So there's the thing. Por favor, señor, ¿puedo tener más agua? You can do that little agua. ¿Puedo tener más agua? Or you just, depends on the intonation. It's also your body as well. Your eyes, you know, if you're questioning eyes, can I have some water? ¿Puedo tener más agua? Ay, puedo tener más agua, por favor. It also depends on the context, how you're speaking. Don't get too wrapped up in the doing that. But that's just a good way to practice, of course. So that's why we say it. So, por favor, señor, puedo tener más agua. Por favor. Now, look at a bit of the stress here. Por, because one word. Favor, because this is por favor. This is the one like por favor. No, por favor. Okay, señor, señor, not señor, señor. Okay, stress here. Puedo, because it's a vowel. Tener, because it ends in ere. Más, well, you've got one thing. Agua, wa. It's got that wa sound. And that, if we look in our sounds of Spanish, our diphthong, where is it? Wa, as in water. So there you go. Más agua. You have to say más for more. Alright? If you want to say less, menos. But we say más. Okay? Por favor, puedo tener más agua. Okay, so we're going to use this again. So, how do you say I cannot eat more. Okay, and just so pause, try it. I cannot eat more. So we would say no puedo comer más. Remember, comer, consumables. You cannot eat more. No puedo comer más. If you want to say, can you eat more? Question, ¿no puedes comer más? Can you eat more? ¿No puedes comer más? Remember the pause and try it. ¿No puedes comer más? So there you go. Poder. You'll use this a lot. This is the important thing. So you can now say, well, I can speak Spanish, which is what? Puedo hablar español. Más. I can speak more Spanish. I can speak Spanish more. Or I can speak more Spanish. So there you go. You got two little things there. Por favor. Now you have to... This is a cultural thing more than anything else. In English we say please a lot. In South America they use please a lot. In Spain not so much. So lots of por favors, and it's a bit, people get a bit irritated. It's a strange phenomenon, but there you go. What can we do? So now we'll have a look at tener, because I want to also show you, we have this little thing where you say I have to. For example, I have to go. Okay. Now, to go in Spanish is ir. It's just ir, like that. Okay. It's a irregular verb, and we'll be looking at. Don't worry, I might have a whole class on the verb to go, but we're just going to learn ir, right? So when I have to say this in Spanish, we don't say. You would think it would be tener ir. No, it's not that. It's definitely not that, because that would not make sense, right? So you have to put a little word, and this word you're going to use a lot. Que. Tener que. Okay, so I just knock that off. Tener que. Que is how they say that. When you, for example, the man that I met the other day, when you want to join a subordinate clause, as they call it, you want to join something. I have had such a good day that I wanted to continue. Okay, that is, we're not talking about when you point to something and say that. It's not demonstrative. Okay, so that que is also, you remember, if it's got no, if it's, this is example, please remember, if it's without tener, que is what, but without it, it's that. Okay, what, that. Remember por qué? Por qué can be, if I say porque, it stresses on the beginning, porque, and I'm saying because. I put the stress on the end. Porque is why. Okay, remember that. Porque means because of that. Okay, porque literally means because of that, and the question porque means for what? For what reason? Why do you do that? For what reason do you do that? So we have that. So because que with the accent is what? Que? ¿Qué quieres? What's that? What does that? What does that say? You should know this. ¿Qué quieres? Remember, querer, quieres is what do you want? ¿Qué quieres? What do you want? Okay. So I have to go would be tener que ir. Okay, tener que ir. Okay. I have to eat. Tener que comer. Right? Tengo que comer. Sorry, I have to eat. You have to eat, Or let's do a question. Do you have to eat? How would you say that? Just try and practice it there. Okay. Okay. And then be tienes que comer. Say just with a bit of intonation. Tienes que comer. Tienes que comer. So tengo que we want to say I have to drink. I have to drink would be, remember what to drink is libation, beber. That's from the other class, beber. Let's just spell it here. Beber. Okay. So I have to drink. Tengo que beber. Por favor, señor, ¿puedo tener más agua? Tengo que beber. Tengo que beber. Por favor, señor, ¿puedo tener más agua? Tengo que comer. Yeah, I should really put a question mark. Now, what in Spanish writing, you'll say this, just to show you. They put a question mark, an inverted one beforehand and one after. It's a little curiosity. And I always forget it, but don't worry about it. They haven't killed me yet for forgetting. At least not yet. So, this is how I try to... Now, I'm telling you these two verbs here because you're going to use them a lot, right? Because this gives you the ability to say things that you have the ability to. I am, I can, I am able to. Yeah? For example, if you want to say, I can't speak a lot of Spanish, how do you say that? You should be able to say this by now. I cannot speak a lot of Spanish. Okay, try it, yeah? Have you tried it? No, you haven't. Try it again, come on, I'm listening. Okay. And I've forgotten the question. I cannot talk a lot of Spanish. No puedo hablar mucho español. No puedo hablar mucho español. Okay. Yeah. Por favor, please, can you speak English? Please, can you speak English? Go and try it. Yeah. Okay, I relieved you that time. Por favor, puedes hablar in... I've forgotten the question. Por favor, puedes hablar inglés? Remember, inglés, you've got to put it on the accent. We looked on the accent. That's in the accent class. Because if you don't, you say inglés, which is your groin. You don't want to say that, trust me. You don't want to say, can you speak more groin? Because maybe you'll get hit. Probably. Okay. So these are two verbs you're going to use a lot. To be able to, tener, obviously, and this I have to. Tengo que. Because it talks about obligation. This talks about ability. And these are two things which are very important. There are some more ones which are more important. And it involves a verb to go. So maybe we'll look at that next class. And we're all doing this in the present tense, remember. Okay. And eventually we're going to do a bit of vocabulary classes as well, because I'm not going to teach you vocabulary, but we'll do how I learn vocabulary. I have my special own way of learning vocabulary, which is particular to me, so don't worry about it. If you will learn vocabulary in your own way, we'll show you some tricks you can do. We've been showing you some tricks, you know. For example, agua is aqua in English. Aqua is, you see it on, I'm sure, thousands of bottles of water every day. So you just have to change the G, you know. Aqua, agua. If you said aqua, they'd probably understand you and think, look at you, a bit strange, but you would be understood. So okay, so maybe we're going to start looking at more of these helpful verbs and a bit more vocabulary, how to learn vocabulary. Might be a nice little thing to do as well. So I hope you've got something out of this, and we'll see you next time. So have a good one. Okay, bye-bye.